All right. So we are at session 2. That is profile pages for IndieWebCamp Online 2019. And I actually believe this was the one. Yeah, this is the first one that I created as a facilitator, or the only one I created as a facilitator for this. But it kind of came out of a session or out of the chat. Martine, Rose, and I were all talking about profile pages and thought that would be a fun session. So I went ahead and suggested it as a session. And I think it's interesting because, we have this idea of an H card in the indie web that kind of is your virtual business card. And most people just kind of have their name, their photo, maybe a P note to describe them. But that's pretty much it. Some people add more stuff. Martine famously has like a bazillion different artificial properties on his H card that aren't actually parsed by anything. But he's made this really nice profile page that he uses as kind of his space on the world to tell people about himself and what's important to him. And I thought that's pretty cool. I remember back in the day, like, the whole purpose originally of like MySpace was more like a profile, and like, yes, people could leave you notes on your wall, but also there was a lot of like profile info, and Facebook had that a lot at the beginning. I feel like they've shoved a lot of that into the a tab now, so it's not really as profile based. But yeah, so I started thinking I would like to put a profile kind of on my homepage is actually what I've been thinking about. So part of my homepage redesign has been wanting to go ahead and actually make my apparently it's snowing. I have my webpage do snowflakes when it's snowing at my location, and I see snowflakes on my website. But yeah, so I kind of want my homepage to be more like a profile. And that is one reason that I kind of did my website redesign. So I'm going to share my, I know I shared my website earlier, but I will go ahead and share my website again. So yeah, so right now, like, I didn't even used to use my photo on my homepage. I really just had, this was the extent of my H card, was like my description. And then I have a read more button that takes you to an about page. And really, I think I could probably get rid of the about page or just turn it into like a history page or something like that, because it's not anything about my profile I think I'd like on my home screen. So that's why I added my avatar here and the map, and it kind of I stole it from another guy's website, but it also kind of reminded me of like Twitter. I think theirs is on the left a little bit more, but it's kind of that, you have your banner and your avatar and stuff. So right now I have just a bunch of posts, going down here, but I'm not sure where I want it, if it's above or below, but I'd like to add some more information about myself. One thing I kind of started doing there, I have, some social media links down here. I'd like to maybe move those up forward, but one fun little thing here is I added a Nintendo Switch icon, and it says my friend ID. And then if you click on it, it shows the friend ID and allows you to like copy it in case you want to copy and paste it and add me as a friend on Nintendo Switch Online. Do what?
That is awesome.
Yeah, sweet. So yeah, so I just thought adding more stuff like that would be kind of fun. So yeah, I don't know. So I just kind of wanted to have a session where everyone could kind of talk about either interesting things they have done with profiles or things that they think would be cool that they'd like to do on their website as a profile. So I would like to hear your thoughts and ideas.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I have been thinking about doing something along these lines, even professionally wise. Being a freelancer, I put my personal site on all my business stuff. I never include but it has no business info on it at all, apart from maybe my contact details. So I was probably just going to put out a separate page for a bit of an about me, um, what I do type thing, because I already have where.is.grant.codes. So I'm thinking of just doing who.is.grant.codes, and then I've got my own little page for that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And I remember now you mentioning that kind of came out of the same conversation. I shared a URL of a guy whose page I kind of stole for the redesign of my homepage, and and then I think you and Aaron Perky were both in the chat and talking about URLs and stuff for potential profile pages. So yeah, I think that'd be really fun. Like you said, to have who.is grant codes. I even thought I don't have a fun grant.codes or anything like that URL, but I thought when I read that, I was like, oh, I could do who.is.eddiehinkle.com. The .com kind of throws you off a little bit, but not too bad. People are used to .com. So yeah, since I have my name in mine, I thought, oh, that'd be fun too. So cool. What about you, Doug? Have you do you have a any kind of a profile section on your website? Have you thought about putting a profile section on your website?
I have thought about it. Wasn't quite sure. Like, does that so? Do you have your canonical H card then on that page, or?
Yeah, so currently my canonical H card does not have much information, but it resides on my homepage. But of course, it could reside wherever someone might want.
Yeah, I guess it's been pretty low priority because it wasn't immediately obvious. I guess I'd have to create a static page in WordPress, and
That makes sense.
I'm actually seeing what David has done. Presumably, he doesn't have much there, but presumably it's.
Yeah, I think he's kind of headed in that direction. Like you said, there's not a whole lot of information there, but if you notice when you go to his homepage, if you hover on top of the about menu, about is bold. So he has his homepage as his about page. So if you're anywhere on his website and you click about, it actually takes you back to his homepage. So that
Oh,
that seems to be his approach. He has his name, avatar. Not actually very similar to me, right? He has his name, his avatar, his location, um, a bunch of social media icons, more than I even have on mine, and then he has like a one-line description, which I think is probably his P note on his H card. Yep, it is his P note on his H card, just like I have that text on the top of mine. So yeah, his and mine are actually very similar. Although he has his local conditions, which is actually something I want to add, is my local conditions. Yeah.
yeah. I guess I'd probably continue to have my landing page just be posts, and you'd have to go somewhere else to, I think, to get.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I think right now, basically, that's all in the sidebar.
Yeah, I've got all my usual social media icons. That's still just just a widget. I haven't done an H card yet, so that's a definite idea. And then I've got the bio tab, which is a static page.
Cool. So you said you have the bio tab. So that kind of sounds like your kind of a profile-y area. Do you just have like a text bio, or do you have more information there?
Basically just a text bio for now, at least.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's similar to my about page, where it kind of just says like, "Hey, here's a paragraph or two about who I am and some of the things I've done."
Hmm.
Is that more professionally focused or personally focused?
Professionally.
Okay. Cool.
And then I've got if you'll notice at the bottom of the page, I had previously written a more personal thing that went on for ever. And so there's that bit that says, well, if you really want to know too much about me, there's.
Nice.
And someday I'm going to rewrite all of that.
Was there ever consensus on how to sort of do a canonical H-card type thing? If you have a big feed of posts and then your main H-card is somewhere else, but it's not on your main homepage. I don't know if I've not looked into it really, but don't know if it's been decided.
I think it has, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I think there's basically an algorithm for determining what it is in the microformats wiki.
Yeah, because I was clicking on the card page and it just has discussion about it, but nothing decided.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think the discussion is probably actually implemented, but I guess it's just not an official standard. But things definitely do follow that parsing algorithm for the canonical H card.
Yeah, for a while there was a bug in what's the validation site? Was it .rocks? I forget, but it incorrectly said I did not have a canonical H card.
Oh, interesting. Was it IndieWebify me?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
I also figured I'd share this. There's like a GitHub project that's pretty popular. It's just literally GitHub made it, so it's this GitHub personal website, and then just lets you fork this project to have like a little dashboard type website, which is basically what we're talking about. And there's a sample here that I found. So it just like shows what the person does and their repos and grabs their data from GitHub, I guess. That's quite a cool little, very simple landing site.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I used to have Edward Hinkle as opposed to eddiehinkle.com, and that would be like my professional portfolio site versus my personal site. And I actually used to have it grab my GitHub repos, and it would show my GitHub repos along with the stars and forks, kind of like this one. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I like that. They have the skills, the projects, and then a little bio.
I did get beal.dev.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I was trying to think if there's a bunch of other services that have like these sort of basic profile websites that you can quickly set up for yourself, mainly aimed at professional reasons. So they'd also be quite good to look at for inspiration. I can't remember what they are though. So maybe about.me is maybe one.
That's a good question.
I wonder how Mastodon ActivityPub gets profile information? Like, can you make it appear in multiple platforms?
Like I think you, if you have like activity pub, like you can share your profile information. Like if you look, I think Aaron Precky's is pretty well fleshed out. But that requires like activity pub support. So like I don't think Bridgie does a whole lot yet. Um there's also Mastodon is really confusing because your profile stuff I think you can share via activity pub, but posts and things like that just um like they don't show up until the instance knows about it. But yeah, I think your profile feels like they have like URL and like, and I think you can actually add arbitrary fields in Mastodon. So I think that means activity pub, you could technically like, there's like a label and a value in Mastodon. And so I think you could technically, if you had like activity pub support, you could like feed it any key value that you wanted, and you could have that display on a Mastodon. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it looks like about.me has like a profile photo, links to a more in-depth website, and then just has kind of like a bio. It has like appointment scheduling for people who want to schedule appointments. You can throw in testimonials or portfolio if it's more professional. Have a contact button.
Yep, the other one that I remembered that I found again is called card.co with 2 R's. I put a link in the Etherpad.
Okay.
And it has a couple of examples you can just click on the site as well. And it's basically a very, very basic profile. And people, I guess, pay a little bit of money or something for it.
I have an uncontrollable urge to create a pirate site on there.
Too many R's. Nice.
Or maybe a parrot site. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. That could work as well. Yeah, there we go. So the one that I had talked about that kind of started my thinking down this path was where is Felix.today. I've just posted that link in the Etherpad. And that basically, he does a lot of traveling. So his is really all about where he is and where he's going. And so like it tells you what city he's currently in, if he has any upcoming trips, his mood, because he logs his mood. So that's one thing that I want to do is start logging my mood and then show my most recent mood on my homepage, which can like be an indicator like, hey, should I like reach out to him? Oh, he's very angry right now. Maybe now is not the best time to reach out to him. If I have a little contact button on my website, it could check my mood first and be like, are you sure you want to contact? He currently has an angry face as his mood. If he has a really happy, if I have a really happy face, be like, hey, like it can pop up from the corner and be like, hey, do you want to reach out to Eddie? He's really happy right now. If he's sad, if I'm sad, be like, hey, tell something happy to Eddie. Encourage him. I don't know.
Sounds almost well, not quite, but slightly along the lines of like the Slack or GitHub statuses where you can say you're on holiday or whatever, but just for your mood in particular.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is actually very similar because I want to do my mood in emojis, and that's exactly Slack allows you to choose emoji and then, of course, put some text in there. But yeah, their big thing is having the emoji. So like if you're sick, can put the sick emoji when you take sick leave or something. I always put the little palm tree when I go on vacation. Like, see ya later, guys.
Hmm.
Yeah. There was another one that I really liked, but I cannot for the life of me remember. Not remember what it was, which is unfortunate. Let's see your personal. Oh, here you go. Website inspiration. Let's see if it's in this list. View, show all notes. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems I have lost it. Oh, the only other thing is if it's in my inbox and show all notes. Oh, that's a lot of notes. I don't think I'm going to find that in there. Oh well. But yeah. All right. Well, do you guys have any other thoughts on profiles or anything?
This has been useful, but I gotta go.
Alrighty, no worries. You have a great day, Michael.
Take
Bye.
care.
Good
See you all later, probably.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm actually sort of thinking about how you would keep something like that up to date if you're just updating like individual stuff very, very quickly, or are you updating it only once every 5 months manually, or?
Yeah, I think I would try to get as much like passively, or like get as much from, like, for example, if I wanted to store my mood, I would just like post moods to my website, not on my main timeline, but like just post them on my website and then just say what was my last mood and basically just grab the most recent. So something like that I think is probably my tactic. And then like, because then I have like my current time zone that comes from my location, which again is passive. A project I'm trying to work on this weekend, I have it half built, is I have, Nintendo Switch, and so I watched the network traffic from the parental app on my iOS device connecting to Nintendo servers, and I grabbed how they communicate with each other, and I'm building a Node.js app that basically acts like the parental app on my iOS device to fetch like how much various games have been played, and then I'm going to be able to pull down that, parse that, and then post that to my website and say, hey, like Eddie just played 30 minutes of Mario Kart. And so then my goal is to have like, either the last game I played on there, or the last 4 games I played, similar to like my watch posts, that kind of a thing. Yeah, name is probably not going to change much. That's a good point. It does change occasionally, but not often.
That's why I said probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just sort of wondering if there's any way of doing it via micropub. Probably you could do with updates and stuff if you've got that all sorted.
Yeah, I think it would be very customized, but I think one thing I would like to do is basically I have an idea of basically controlling your, nickname cache using micropub with H cards. And so I think if you were to say send a micropub update with an H card as the main object, but the URL of the H card is your homepage, then it knows it's the canonical H card. And thus it knows I'm updating my profile as opposed to my nickname cache or a post on my website or something like that. So I have thought actually about doing that. So basically having all of the not automatically generated data being part of an H card object inside of my website using totally not valid H card properties. So my tool that I would develop to do that would totally probably only work for me. But that's one way I've thought about doing it. And then either create a little web app, probably for the stuff that doesn't update often, web app versus like a native app. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do it some along the same method as well. But I'd probably just merge mine into my nickname cache if I end up having one, and just save myself as my own special one and just pull that out from my about page.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking would be helpful.
Do we have any other IndieWeb people that have big, basically big H cards like Martine, or is he the only person that we know of?
I think he's the main one. Let's see, indieweb.org/profile. What does that bring up? Homepage. Okay, so profile takes you to homepage. And then IndieWeb examples. Oh yeah, so this guy Jared Hansen, I'm not sure how old this thing is, so he might not have it anymore, but he had his live instant messaging status as part of his H card, so that's kind of like the mood and the Slack status we were talking about. Yeah, he doesn't have it anymore. It was probably using AIM or something, and that went bye-bye.
There's also the page in the wiki that's just called About.
Oh yeah?
Quite a few examples, but I don't know what they look like at the moment.
Let's see.
They're just more aimed at a very short, who is this person in one line, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
But Gregor has a big bio.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Like it's a proper article versus more of
Oh,
a
nice.
profile. Well, I don't know what you'd call it, really. Dashboard type thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I might have to sneeze here in a minute. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so I like he's got all sorts of things. Like he's got his pronouns, his pronunciation. That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. It's very, I think mine, I definitely imagine mine a lot more like widget based, but I do really like how in depth his is as an article. Like that's really cool. I feel like you get to have a really good impression of him and how to say his name and all sorts of things like that. So that's fun.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few distinct styles appearing, really, isn't there? There's like the dashboard style one. There's the big article style profile, and there's just like a simple little blurb type thing as well.
Yep, exactly.
Interesting. Gregor's about page doesn't even link to his H card on the main page.
Oh, interesting. Does his main page link to his about page? Like, I wonder if his about page is.
It does, but he has the UID set to the main page, so I think
Okay.
like the.
Oh, in fact, I noticed on indieweb.org/bio, Gregor has a post and it says he has a casual bio on his about page. See also discussion about having a minimal H card that links to a more complete H card. And then that links to H card #issues, which talks about how do you link to an about page from a home page. And it seems like it's not fully worked out, which is why he doesn't do that. Interesting.
Might be also interesting to look at what the different silos support. I mean, Twitter is just, and I guess Instagram as well, is basically just a single text field, isn't it? And that's about it. And a picture.
Yeah, Instagram doesn't do much at all. And let's see, Twitter. I think Facebook is the most fully fledged one. Because Twitter, you've got your bio, your location, your URL. And then they show you your tweet activity. Oh, that is something that I would like to do more of, like on Aaron Parecki's site, and then of course on Jeremy Keith's website, adactio.com and aaronparecki.com. They both have like journal links, articles, and notes, and they have little like spark lines about how much they've been doing recently of each thing. And yeah, I kind of like that, and that's similar to the Twitter's your tweet activity over the last week. They show you a bar graph. I think I kind of like the bar graph over the last week. I don't know, maybe do a bar graph per like week over the last like couple of months or something like that. Might be what I aim towards, but I like the bar graph, I think, on Twitter a little bit more than the little spark lines.
I don't think I see any bar graphs on Twitter anywhere.
Oh, maybe it's because I went to my profile, logged in as me. So it's on my. So, let me share my screen real quick, and you might have to go to your. You might have to go to yours to see you, but, yeah. So here on my profile, if I scroll down, oh wait, oh here, now it's on the right. Okay. So yeah, so when I'm logged in as me and I go to my profile, on the left here, it says your tweet activity. And then it says how many impressions I got over the last week. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. The bar graph is the impressions, not the actual tweets. Well,
Yeah, it's different as well. I
yeah,
definitely
it's a
don't.
little bit different. Oh, you don't see that on yours?
No.
Oh, how interesting. Yeah.
Oh, you're an influencer.
I don't think 427 impressions is that significant, but hey, I'll take it.
Could be something to do with that though, just the amount of traffic it sees, it just automatically shows up. Or maybe I just don't have the analytics stuff turned on. Oh, I don't have my Twitter analytics turned on, which is a thing.
Okay, that's gonna be what it is then. That makes sense.
Yeah, you can see your tweet activity and followers' interests and stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should wrap things up so I can get the room set up for the next session. Anyone tuning in on YouTube, thanks for watching. And here in 5 minutes, we'll be starting the next session, which is going to be on read posts here on this profile or on the IndieWeb.org wiki. Thanks for joining.